సంఘటనం ఒక యజ్ఞం సన్నిధగమన జీవనం భరతమాత పాదాలకు మూవలం ఆమె మోము పైన చిరునవ్వులం భరతమాత పాదాలకు మూవలం ఆమె మోము పైన చిరునవ్వులం సంఘటనం ఒక యజ్ఞం సన్నిధగమన జీవనం
దేశం మనదే తేజం మనదే దేశం మనదే తేజం మనదే ఎగురుతున్న జెండా మనదే నీతి మనదే జాతి మనదే ప్రజల అండదండా మనదే అందాల బంధం ఉంది ఈ నేలలో దేశం మనదే తేజం మనదే
పవిత్ర ధాత్రి భారతాంబ ముద్దు బిడ్డ మౌరా ఉయ్యాలవాడ నారసింహుడా.
The world is a dream, nothing lasts long, and one who eradicates cruelty within looks upon the world as his friend. Blessed are those whom truly serves the nation, while 1,000 did, 1,000 betrayed, whom shall portray their value and heroic deeds. Their life is a blessed message of manifestation, which express a life imbued to serve for long. The tribute of those whom fought was, we fight for independence. We will, if we are victorious, enjoy the fruits of victory. If defeated and killed on the field of battle, we shall surely earn eternal glory and salvation. This was the masterpiece of their proclamation. Though they were true, veritably vehement souls never depart for the juice of vengeance. Let's depict the life of one of the greatest heroes whom born out of courage, daringly and dauntingly against one of the emerging superpowers of which their glory and grandeur prizes and eulogizes them as the empire in which the sun never sets. Although small by territory, they were the true source of inspiration and motivation. They led and fought for to defend the public interest and welfare of the nation and its masses. Though they thus never bow before invaders or tyrants or before anyone other than the nation which imparted them with life, the soil which gave them food, and the only God of the means of sustenance, to which they pay their utmost reverence in all glory, albeit vain and futile to hypocrites whom commit atrocities. They never tend nor bow before such inhuman savageous creatures from abroad. Veeravada Narasimha Reddy, also known by Majjiro Narasimha Reddy, was one such whom born of value and could not be compensable with others. Times immemorial his name stand over with lots of difficulties overcame under turmoil. Veeravada was his birthplace. The soil is his birthright. The clan was his armor, and the battlefield is his body. His mother Janani, that is, whom gave birth, was his nation. Freedom is his father, Swatantrata. Liberty is he, Azad. His work is to emancipate the ravaged land of blessed soil, the land of Bharata, soil of purity, mother of kindness, and embodiment of humility and humbleness. Though she was handcuffed by the foreigners, she endured with lots of endowments. The hero of Veeravada, the claimant of justice, the lion of Rayalaseema, son of Renadu, crusader for freedom and end to end, the incarnation of Lord Vishnu, Narasimha, the real lion incarnated on the cultivated soil of Andhra, one of the daughters of Bharata, was born on 24th November 1806 as the pride of the soil. His motto and motive behind was Janani Janam Bhumiksha Svargadapi Gariyasi. Mother and motherland are greater than heaven. Hence, he rendered his whole life for the service of motherland. Rayalaseema was a dry land where there is no perennial rivers or sediments deposited, and the fertile Krishna Godavari valley banks lies east to it, Though cultivation was tough, the locals managed. Each step is an effort emulated for the enumeration of success. Permanent settlement and the land tax levied were much harsh and introduced it to Madras Presidency by the British government in 1803. The zamindari means or landholders whom were deployed were replaced, with land being a subject to the cultivator and has to pay directly tax to the British. The dissentment not only caused between the local Palayakaras or Palayams or Polygaras, but even to the cultivators, as because they paid for the depleted crops too and consequently impoverished them. The British directly dealt with them severely, which provoked wide dissentment. This led to the acquisition of 23 estates with ease by the British. Narasimha was born to be a massive hero. He came under the consulance of Gosai Venkana and also became an expert in yoga and the art of martial warfare. Once he calmed a tiger, which was a man killer, and earned the confidence of people. Andhra was at that very moment under the vast rule of various petty chiefs of very small territory. Narasimha Reddy organized the diverse chiefs in harmony and tolerance and between each other and gave shelter to some of them. He also had a great commander-in-chief called Vade Obana. Professionally, the Paligas had their own military state, which they commanded and subjected to be appointed to take in charge of the welfare of the people and enjoy little royalty. Simultaneously, they were also asked to pay a share of revenue as tribute to Vijayanagara overlords. Though they never originated suddenly, but the landlord system continued with disseminated history and heritage. Narasimha was one of the three brothers born to Mallareddy and Sitama. Narasimha was noticing all the moves of the English and European settlements at India very carefully from his childhood. When the British tried to maximize the revenue and chase out the cultivators and the local polygars, both in-depthly affected and suffered. Narasimha trained the people and commons and made an army, though his pension too was not delegated and he too had no income at all, nor his people. He was defied by saying he was the youngest too, but he had land rights to his grandfather's Palayam Nosam too. Narasimha sent his envoy to collect his pension, but his envoy was publicly mortified by the English and chased him back with words determining Narasimha to come and collect. Narasimha issued, Obana, declare this to all of Dantamandalam, to every doorstep and every family, every man, woman and child. Within 12 hours of his issued challenge, I will storm into his home and behead him myself. This must be witnessed by each and every citizen of Reynadu. I swear this on the boy's burnt hand, those hanged farmers and those crying brides. This is a death sentence issued by Majori Narasimha Reddy. As to his words, he fiercely fought with Jackson, and the desperate white has to no means rather than to escape from the scene. Veelavada chased him, but Jackson determined and jumped into the pond. Narasimha was no means equal to poor Jackson. The great Yogi Vallabha Narasimha Reddy beheaded him with blood floating and disseminating throughout and returned with triumph. The triumphant of justice and glory, witness to his highness, proclaimed and thus issued. Warriors of Reynadu, this fight isn't just for you. It's for your brothers, your children and your people. He had two brothers, Mallareddy and Basi Reddy. Narasimha's army spread out and set camps in Kotakota, Giddaluru, Veelavada and Koyilkuntla regions, and most notably at the regions of Nallamalla forest, where they built fortifications armed with cannons. They also daringly gave a hand-to-hand fight and beat and plundered the EIC treasuries with frequently raids and deployed guerrilla means of warfare techniques. The perplexed foreigners in a wink of a second as to vanquish the foe with whom they became belligerent. At the front-to-front fight near Giddalur, the over-numbered, secured and well-trained and equipped soldiers of the English East India Company were merely put down by a handful of Uyalavada Narasimha's men. Captain Norton being killed at the ensuing fight, Narasimha got a huge support and maintained a swift network of communication. He got many allies, and though they allied with him counterpart to take off the British, Obana, Karnam Ashwathama, Dasuru Roshi Reddy, Jangam Mallaya, Papa Khan, Rajapandi and many others. It was their family custom of lighting up the Jagannath mountain lamp every year per time as a symbol of auspiciousness and goodwill. The East India Company bribed to either capture or bring corpse of Narasimha, and whomever brings information about him or his associates were highly rewarded. However, the much safer Nallamalla too was betrayed and Narasimha's family was imprisoned. He once moved back but was found, and a desperate last stand was inspired given with no means of reality, holding or gaining success. Narasimha was convicted along with 112 whom were also convicted. The British attempted and made him to carry heavy burden tied with chains, but the unrest Narasimha's tale of value yet was never to be convicted or challenged. Lord Cochrane committed the sentence to death by hanging and was convicted to particularly impose punishments on inhuman basis and false implications over implementations. Narasimha's last speech was, "Rise your heads, wipe your tears and watch me hang with pride filled in your chest. The mothers of this land will sing lullabies about our battles. Our story will become a Puranam and our legends will become an Idihasam. We were the ones whom taught salvation to the world. Now we can teach liberation. We taught life to the world. Now we live on and teach freedom. We will chase out the whites whom have enslaved our motherland and slashed their throats. From this moment on, there's only one goal for every individual: freedom. The hangman will symbolize a war for liberation, and now I will be that war. A body burnt will take the shape of a nation. I will be that nation, and we will celebrate that day, and for there is no death occurring here, but birth." This incident happened in front of a large masses assembled with grievance at the banks of Jurairu river near Kovilkuntla. It's believed that his head hung there for 30 more years to make a warning for people. Though he wasn't the first, but he was one of them to be courageously portrayed in our history. Rather, the false implementations deliberately attempted to hide, in fact, what's our history and pride.
పవిత్ర ధాత్రి భారతాంబ ముద్దు బిడ్డవౌరా ఉయ్యాలవాడ నారసింహుడా చరిత్ర పుటలు విస్మరించ వీలు లేని వీరా రెనాటి సీమ కన్న సూర్యుడా మృత్యువే స్వయాన చిరాయురస్తు అనగా ప్రసూతి గండమే జయించినావురా నింగి శిరసు వంచి నమోస్తు నీకు అనగా నవోదయ